Okay, so the session is recording. Right, so for the first one, y'all had to, they said lymphocytes produce antibodies, right? So you had to outline the role of antibodies in the defense of the body against pathogens. So far, everybody's assignment that I checked, Desha, Dimitri, and Jade, yeah, Desha, Dimitri, and Jade. Cheyenne, I know Cheyenne sent me a homework, but I just couldn't open it. Y'all were on point with your explanation. The only thing I would add is the antigens. So Dimitri, you had an excellent response. It's just I want you to include antigens in your answer. All right. So because remember, when a pathogen enters into your body, what triggers the lymphocytes to reproduce themselves and secrete antibodies would be the presence of antigens on the outside of these pathogens. All right, and remember, these antigens are shape specific molecules, which I remember Desha correctly mentioning as well. So, excellent job with that, too. Um, yeah, so because they are specifically shaped, your lymphocytes would secrete certain antibodies which would be particular to that shape on the pathogen, and which would then which will then cause the antibody to the pathogen, mm, right? To bind to the pathogen, and then it would either alert your phagocytes to destroy it via phagocytosis, or it would trigger a series of chemical reactions, which would destroy the pathogen. Sorry, Emily, I see a question. Let me just share the answer so that everybody could see it. Right, so this is how the answer could be laid out, right? So y'all could take a look at it. Oh gosh, Ole, we had to finish just now. Oh gosh, the meeting will end in 10 minutes. Ugh, that's annoying. All right, so Emily wants to know if you had to explain how it defends the body or why it defends the body. Let me just read over the question. Right, you had to explain how it defends the body. So the mechanism by which lymphocytes defend the body against pathogens. That's what outlined the role of antibodies in the defense of the body against pathogen mean. Right? So you would have to explain how it defends the body. So in a case when you have a little disgusting pathogen wandering inside the body, what is it that happens? How is it that your lymphocytes are able to defend the body? All right. Not specifically why. Well, we know why, but the question isn't asking why. The question is more asking how, and this is how you could lay out your answer. All right. Would y'all like me to send you the answers so that y'all could always read and compare as well in the future, or y'all think you're okay? Well, at least judging, okay, no problem. I'll send it. And like I said again, judging from the answers that I got, everybody did a good job. So at Jade as well, you did a nice job with your explanation too. So kudos to you as well. It's just that include antigens in your response, right? Okay. Yeah, no problem. I'll send it to you. All right. You're seeing the answers as I have it up now, right? Yeah, you're seeing. Okay. All right, cool. So let's just do the cell and then I'll have to restart the meeting, unfortunately. All right, so the next one is, right, the next one is the cell, which you all had to label and show which part does what. All right. So A, they gave you all as being the cell membrane, right? Which is, of course, we all know what the membrane is, right? Is that outer part which either permits or denies the entry of substances, all right, and in and out of the cell. All right. The part that stores genetic information. Remember, we spoke about where your DNA is found in the cell. When it is we were doing some topic, I can't remember which one it was. When we were doing chemicals of life, I believe it was, or even the structure of the cell. We were talking about it, and we said that genetic information is stored in your DNA. All right. So, I mean, yeah, sorry, genetic information, yeah, is stored in your nucleus, right? Your DNA is found in the center, which is in the nucleus of the cell. So that's why the answer would be B. All right. The part of the cell that would provide the energy for making antibodies. So why, right off the bat, once you see that it's something involved in producing energy. Scroll back up where to the first explanation. Mm, this this one, right, Tanya? Okay, if you want it,
Thank you.
no problem. All right. So right. So yeah, anytime you have to do with anytime you have a question that asking about energy, know that it's your actual, how you call it, your mitochondria that will be involved, because remember we spoke about the mitochondria being the powerhouse of the cell. So um, it will break down, it takes in the glucose, and it would release the energy from it. Okay. um, right. Apart from that, now you had the site of the production of antibodies, right? So remember, this is a lymphocyte, so you will have an area where the antibodies would be produced, and in that cell it would be in the ribosomes or the endoplasmic reticulum. All right, the right, the ribosome or the endoplasmic reticulum. So if it is you had C, or and you had ribosome, you would get it correct. If it is you had G and you had endoplasmic reticulum, you would have gotten it correct. All right. Also, after your antibodies have been produced, then it would have to actually be transported in a sort of vessel. So the part that is responsible for the transport of antibodies would be vesicles or your vacuoles. Now remember, in an animal cell, we do not have like a vacuole per se, but we have a small version of the vacuole, which is called a vesicle. All right, and that would be classed as F, right, which is here. Okay, and that's it. That was your easy. How much marks that was? You would have gotten 1 mark per row, right? So 4 marks. Okay. Now remember, in any exam that you're doing, um, which one? Go to the image and explain which part. Oh, okay. You'll just I think I have to share that image. Right. You're everybody seeing the image of the cell, right? Okay, great. So basically, look here, you see an F, which is the little vesicles, all right? So what happens is that when your antibodies are produced from the endoplasmic reticulum or the ER, right, or the ribosomes, you have your antibodies that would be transported into these little vesicles, all right, these little holes all around here. You're seeing that they are located close to where the endoplasmic reticulum is, right? This is so that as soon as the antibodies are made, they would enter into these vessels. So think about it like PTSD service, right? So you have your population of antibodies which will enter into the vesicles, which are like your PTSD bus, and then they would go to the edge, which is like where the cell membrane is of the cell. They would go to the edge there, and that's where they would be open, and the antibodies would be released from the cell. So the population of antibodies enter into the vesicle. Vesicles move from that particular location of the cell towards the end by where you have the cell membrane, and they have a little opening at the end, and these substances that were once contained in the vesicles are now released out of the cell. So that is the transport mechanism from inside the cell to outside the cell. All right, that's okay, Desha? Everybody understand that mechanism? So we know that your right. Somebody was talking. Okay, cool. Desha?
Yes. Yes, miss.
You understand, right?
Yeah. But I see it going to cut off.
Yeah, we have less than a
Yeah.
minute. So I'm gonna end the meeting now and we'll start over, okay?
Okay.
All right then. Same credentials, same meeting ID, same password, right?
Yes, miss.
All right, bye. I'll see you all in a bit.